PSA's annual conference, now known as TEC, has been one of my favorites among the very busy electronic security events calendar ever since I began annually attending it more than 20 years ago. That's because of its unique combination of outstanding education and unrivaled networking among leaders from the industry's top security systems integration companies, all in a very relaxed, friendly, and professional environment. This year's installment, held as usual in Denver, this time at the downtown Sheraton, was all the more meaningful as everyone continues to rebound from the pandemic. With an estimated 500 participants, for 2022, the May 16th through 19th in-person event was staged as a companion to a virtual edition held the following week. The live education program delivered sessions focusing on leadership and next-generation talent, while the virtual sessions centered on professional development across a variety of job functions, including sales, marketing, IT networking, operations, procurement, and technology partner relations, technicians, and project managers. Among the new wrinkles for the live version was Tech Talk tables, which matched vendors with integrators for direct conversations. Both factions told me that they enjoyed them very much and that they were very productive. Easily the biggest topic of conversation among everyone was the supply chain crisis and its enormous impact on business and operations. Also prompting deep discussions was talent recruitment, and then the technology front, cloud, artificial intelligence, and cybersecurity. It was also announced that for one of the only times in its more than 40-year history, next year's event will take place in Dallas. Apparently, PSA needs a larger space to accommodate this valuable event. To share with you what transpired at PSA TEC 2022 Live, what's new with the organization, and provide some general industry perspective, I caught up with PSA CEO Matt Barnette and President Rick McCullough. Additionally, for more insights, I sat down with past PSA Board of Directors Chairman Dan Budinoff of Security Specialists. With that, enjoy this special on-site edition of SSI Security Speaking. Be sure to subscribe to SSI's YouTube channel. Hit the like button, share, and leave comments. Or subscribe to SSI's Security Speaking podcast on Apple and Spotify. And leave us a review. Thank you. All right, hey, we're at PSA TEC 2022. So good to be back together again, gentlemen. How does it feel to be back together in person, and how's it been going so far? Matt, let's start with you.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, I think the ton of excitement here, having people back together. I think they've missed seeing each other and missed getting together with our tech partners, and so definitely feel the vibe having this live event. And I think ultimately we're pack animals, and we just thrive off of that, feeling like you're part of a pack, and that's certainly. PSA is like a family feel. Most of the people that come have been coming for years, and it's great to see them again, and it's great to have the new ones that we haven't been able to see the last few years here in person. So it's been awesome.
Rick, what are you seeing? How are you feeling about it?
Well, I certainly agree with Matt. What's neat is last year was our first live. We were like the first live event in the security industry, and somebody we knew was retiring. Kind of made a big deal out of it. And in addition to that, though, we learned from what we did last year, because we ran a live event along with a virtual event simultaneously, and we learned that wasn't the best thing to do. So this year, we're just concentrating this week on live sessions with leadership and decision makers. And then next week is a virtual week with a lot of certification classes and some panel discussions, but they'll all be virtual. So it's a great time. It's a great time to be in the security industry.
What are some of the most recent developments for PSA organizationally? If you could kind of summarize some of those, Matt.
Yeah, so like most companies, PSA is evolving, trying to keep up with changes in the market and the industry. So, we're on that same journey here. We're growing, we're hiring. But our fundamentals are the same. It's engagement with our owners and members. It's constantly recruiting because there's changes in the market. So looking for new membership to to bring in, and new manufacturer, new technology to bring into the fold. And then it's, what kind of services can we provide in addition to the things we currently do that resonate with our community. So that's a constant cycle that we're running through at PSA. Lots of great things to come as we continue to grow and offer more.
Mm-hmm. Rick, would you like to add anything?
I think what I'd add to that is we did add some structure to growth plans, and we developed a 5-year strategic plan along with an outside group, and that's really helped us to be our North Star and to have a guiding direction while we try to stay relevant and tackle all the issues that the industry has currently. So that, in addition to everything Matt said.
I'll just add to that, Scott, like one of the services we started offering in the past year is a marketing agency. So really identifying that a lot of our integrators in the industry and in the PSA membership could use some support. They don't have a marketing department. They don't have a dedicated resource. And, to outsource that, could be a fairly expensive business proposition. So, one of the things we try to offer to our membership is these cost-effective services, but really provide them value. And so that's been incredibly successful. We'll be expanding programs like that and adding more programs over the next year.
So as we look out for the rest of 2022 and toward 2023, what are some initiatives that you're really looking to get some traction on moving forward?
So our fiscal year ends at the end of June, so we're almost there. So getting through TEC this week was a big hurdle, and we'll be happy to have this behind us. And then we start focusing, finish this year strong. It's been a challenge with all of the supply chain issues, but we're very close to our number. We have a monster backlog, product backlog, so we're working closely with our tech partners to try to get them to release product to the PSA membership and keep us front of the line or front of their attention, and to try to get through the fiscal year. And then focusing on initiatives for next year, which can include we're revamping our education program. We're currently recruiting for Director of Education. We have some new programs we want to roll out as part of our 5-year strategic plan, and education is one of the cornerstones of that strategic plan. We have more marketing initiatives in the future. We have a rebrand on the AV side of the business, so we do have an AV division, and there's work going on there as we continue to grow that side of the business. So lots going on, including investment and more boots on the ground, inside sales and outside sales, an area of growth for PSA going into our fiscal year 23.
Yeah, and we'll use an event like this to help drive VOC data, and that will help fortify plans for 23 that Matt just outlined. So it's exciting, good times.
What are you hearing from the members in terms of, how this year is looking for them and, how they're dealing with some of their challenges?
Well, I would just say business is excellent, but the frustration level is high in trying to get product in a timely manner to be able to satisfy end user or customer needs. So that we just have to figure out a way that we can do the best job that we can, given the circumstances that we're faced with. So
yeah, I think financially, a lot of our owners and members are doing well. It's but they're having the same struggles. Not only is the supply chain issue an issue, the customers aren't paying their bills because they're not finished on the jobs, and that's stretching things out even further. So, we're seeing a little bit of money crunch, but that's what we're here for. We help provide financial security to our membership, and it's one of the big benefits of being part of PSA.
What about looking more big picture, gentlemen, for the industry with the supply chain, with people and talent? How are you feeling about that? And do you think a year from now when we're at TEC, we'll see an improvement, or we'll still be kind of in the same boat? Jump back with Rick on that one.
Well, I sure hope a year from now that we're talking about something different than supply chain deficiencies. When the whole pandemic started, we thought that would last 6 to 8 weeks. That was a little naive, I suppose, but I think the industry revolves around a couple key critical points, just as it always has, and that's finding the right labor, finding the right talent, finding new opportunities in the marketplace to sell relevant and upcoming products. An expansion of RMR services and cloud-based offerings, both in software, for software primarily. So those are ways that we're looking just to kind of change the focus or re-engineer the focus to gain better results.
Yeah, so there's no quick fix to the current supply chain issue, and depending on who you talk to, this is going to continue on well into 2023. And I don't think it's going to be like one day we're going to wake up and all this product that's been in the backlog is shipped. So it's going to gradually be stepped down over a course of time. And so that's good news, because if it all did ship, there wouldn't be enough labor in the market to handle it. So it would just cause another problem. It's kind of been slightly masked because of the supply chain issue that most of the integration companies, whether in security, AV, or other industries, don't have the labor to do the amount of work that they're being asked to do today. So I think it'll be a bit of cat and mouse as these things work themselves out over the next 12 to 18 months.
And as you look at the industry overall, what are a couple of opportunities that you see out there that you're just really excited about, or you think that integrators should jump out of bed about?
Hard to get that kind of excitement out of the integration community, but I think the pandemic has really changed a bit of the product selection in several ways. One, not having people on site or not having many people on site really caused a lot of end users to start looking at solutions that would be easier to manage and maintain remotely. So there was definitely a move to cloud technologies, and we've seen that accelerate over time. So all the manufacturers that we work with either have a cloud solution or moving to a cloud solution, having that as part of their portfolio. That, of course, gets in the same discussion we've had many times about selling managed services, subscriptions, recurring revenue. And quite frankly, it's exciting for the integrators because those types of contracts just tend to go on in perpetuity. So it provides a little bit of hedge against a downturn in business. Those monthly recurring or annual recurring projects just keep paying off. So it's a better deal for the integrators in the long run, and we're starting to see that happen more and more. So that's a big opportunity. New technologies entering every day. I'm still trying to figure out where some of them have a significant play in the industry. But clearly the move to the cloud is still a big one, and subscription and managed services is a big part of that.
Rick?
Yeah, I would think a move away from proprietary solutions has a really big play in our marketplace, because people will have long memories from the supply chain deficiencies that have occurred over the past 2 years, and some of that is tied to proprietary solutions that only one manufacturer can provide. So I think there'll be alternatives, not an overall change in direction, but there'll be some folks who will look to move into more of a mainstream solution set that's not tied to proprietary technology. Then you have the whole cloud and mobile platforms that the phone and an iPhone or just a mobile phone in general will take over, I believe, more and more of day-to-day technology. Recent developments, a combination of Apple and Google and Microsoft in how they're going to do away with passwords and dual-factor authentication within the year. There's a lot that's going on in the mobile world that we'll have to stay on top of as well.
And 5G.
5 years?
5G, I said also.
5G,
just for a second,
yeah. We'll probably just screen past that towards 6G. Right? They can get the whole airport situation resolved.
I'll just add on that, Scott. I mean, as Rick talked about, I think this has been one of the biggest changes in buying habits that we've probably seen in our business lifetime. Is you can't get certain products, and customers that were standardized on those products are looking to shift to things they can get. Because they have real world security issues. They need to lock down doors, they need cameras for video, and they're now going off of what would have been traditionally a corporate standard. So that's been a huge shift during the supply chain issue, that customers are now looking, as Rick said, off of a proprietary platform, but changing manufacturers completely because they need things now. They can't wait a year.
For integrators out there that are prospective PSA members, what would you tell them, in terms of how they should evaluate if it's right for them?
That's a great question. I can tell you there is no better organization in the security marketplace than PSA. It just isn't. We get compared to just being a distributor, but it's just so much more than that. And the mind share and the best practice sharing that you can get in an uncertain economy and economic times that we're going through right now, to be able to share that with other like-minded integrators and peers, it's just a setting that you're not going to find with just product distributors. They don't have meetings like this, where it's just integration companies meeting to talk about how to solve common problems. And that's what makes this event so wonderful, so rewarding, and so tiring in the long run. And by Friday, we're going to be, we'll be beat, but it'll be so worth it.
Yeah. Now, next year, are we allowed to talk about where it's going to be and the dates and that kind of thing?
Sure, we are.
So I hear it's going to be in Dallas or Fort Worth, or?
It is right by the airport in Dallas, I
Not by the
believe.
airport, actually.
Downtown,
downtown.
Hyatt downtown,
So
Hyatt
close.
Regency. So yeah, May 1st through 4th, we're moving TEC to Dallas, which I want to say is the first time TEC has been outside of Colorado, ever? Is that right?
It's been in Chicago.
It used to
many
be in
years ago.
Chicago.
Oh, okay.
But that was a long time ago.
So Dallas, Texas, May 1st through 4th at the Hyatt Regency downtown. It'll be exciting.
And the move is prompted by?
I think a couple of reasons. One, prior to the pandemic, this was, a lot larger show with all the technicians coming in for certification training, and that model has now changed. So as Rick said earlier, we're really focused on the executive leadership and sales leadership and high-level engagement within our organizations. But also we wanted to be more central in the country. You have some weather conditions that happen from time to time in Denver, like snow expected this weekend. So, Dallas is a great place to have an event, and we want to change it up a little bit.
All right, look forward to that. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
Scott.
All right, we're here at PSA TEC 2022 in downtown Denver. Dan, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Dan Budinoff, security specialist in Stamford, Connecticut, and I'm also past chairman of the board of directors, currently still sitting on the board of directors as past chairman of PSA. It's a great position to be in. Do a lot less work as past chairman.
So how do you like what you're seeing so far at this year's event?
This year's TEC is actually going very, very well. We've got great attendance. As far as I'm concerned, I've been in sessions every time sessions are available. The sessions have been really very good. Content's good. The speakers have been very good. I think the choices are things that we're getting education on, things that people can bring home and start to use right away, how to improve their businesses. A lot of focus on recurring revenue and how to generate new recurring revenue. The integrator community is some of us are pretty well into recurring revenue. Some of the folks haven't really embraced it yet, and I think they're starting to see the light.
Do you feel that the pandemic was further impetus to pursue the recurring revenue?
I think it's brought up some ideas of things that you could do. One of the sessions we had today, which was technician-free recurring revenue, how to create that. And there's some nice opportunities with, doing network monitoring, making sure that, and having software or appliances in the background that are making sure that endpoints are functioning properly, like cameras and anything else that's network-based. It's good to know today. I'd rather be in a position of calling my customer saying, hey, by the way, you've got a camera out, than having to wait for them to call me and tell me it's out. I look much better to the customer when I'm telling them that they have a problem. So yeah, recurring revenue, and that's been a big focus today.
And Dan, how do you feel that PSA itself has maybe changed a little bit pre-pandemic to where it is right now?
I think we've taken some opportunities in maybe a bad word, but exploited the opportunities by splitting tech into a virtual and an in-person event. The good things are that the virtual portion has allowed many more of our owners and members to participate and have their technicians participate at a much more affordable rate. Instead of having their techs travel here to Denver, they're being able to take certification classes and other training classes sitting in their office or sitting at their house for significant less expense. And we're seeing an uptrend in the number of people attending those. And we've still got very, very good attendance here on the live side, where we're seeing, this is mostly executives, leadership people in companies. There are some technicians here, but they'd be more senior technicians. I think the everyday techs that are looking for a certification class in a VMS or an access control system are participating in the virtual situation. So it's really turned out pretty well, because our turnout is much greater now than it was pre-pandemic, actually.
And supply chain has been just, the battle cry for quite a while.
Hellacious.
What has been your experience with it, and what do you see for the rest of this year?
Well, I wish I was a clairvoyant and I had a crystal ball. I can tell you that we're suffering from our personal, our company back in Connecticut. We're certainly suffering from stagnation on, we can't finish jobs because we can't get card readers, we can't get cameras. We're waiting 16 weeks, 18 weeks for cameras to show up. That really hurts cash flow. This is a tough situation. We're having to go back to our clients and say, we can't get this brand of camera, but we can get this brand of camera. It's pretty similar in quality. We can get you done now. And that's been okay, but it's certainly, I don't think anybody's really sure where this supply chain issue is going to stop. I mean, until the world settles down and stops having wars and crazy stuff that's going on, and other countries resolve their pandemic issues. I mean, China, look at China today with the lockdowns going on and stuff. That's creating a supply chain issue that's maybe we're a little too dependent on China.
Have you had to pass on some price increases to your clientele?
Oh my God, absolutely. We, our fire alarm vendor, our fire alarm manufacturer that we've been with for 25 years or more, we've had 3 increases since the first of the year to the total of about 26%. That's huge, and obviously we have to go back to our clients and say, hey, we've got this project coming up. We know we're getting a new increase, like we got one yesterday, that's going to take effect July 1st. We're going to people now and say, hey, listen, we got quotes out for you. You want to get this done and at this price, so you're going to have to make a commitment today. It's really a big effect.
So challenging, and customers understanding at all, or?
Actually, they've been pretty good. We've got a couple of projects we're in the middle of that have been long-term projects, and we've gone back to the general contractors, and they go back to their owners and say, hey, we've got a situation. We thought we were going to pay X, and now we can't buy it for X, or we thought we were going to get X, and now we can't get X. So most of them pretty understanding, not happy, but pretty understanding.
Yeah, I mean, being upfront now more than ever is so critical, I think, for integrators, right?
Yeah, and fortunately, we've been entrenched a long time. We're a long-time company. I've been in this 44 years, and we have a history, and we deal with a lot of the same clients. So they kind of get the idea that they can trust us. We're not just looking to say, oh, we're going to get an extra 8% out of this. We're passing it along. If it's an 8% increase, we're going at 8%. We're not looking to get an extra couple of points just because. So yeah, it's been a challenge, though, no question.
Lastly, Dan, for system integrators out there that maybe are not part of PSA, what would you say to encourage them to at least check it out, if not outright join?
I think people don't understand PSA. They think maybe it's just a bunch of people get together and have a networking event. If people understood that PSA is not only a buying group where we get very favorable pricing because of our buying power, the support that we have from our 40 people in the office in Denver. People don't understand that we actually have an office and real people, a lot of customer service, training people, marketing people, things that we offer all kinds of services. PSA will help you with marketing. PSA will help you with buying new product. PSA will offer you good credit. And then you add the networking and you add the education with PSA TEC. There's an awful lot of value in being a PSA owner.
Outstanding. Thank you, Dan.
My pleasure. Anytime, Scott.